Hi everyone, it's Kino here. Thanks for joining this Body Intelligence series. This class is all about the pelvic floor and forgiveness. Close your eyes, tune in to the inner body. Gently allow your eyes to open and your hands to rest comfortably down. The journey of yoga is a journey of deep intimacy with the body. Along the way, you can often find areas of disconnection, areas of pain and injury, areas that seem to house more trouble than pleasure. As you dive down into the pelvis on our journey together, you may find that it's difficult to feel, it's difficult to tune in, it's difficult to shine light into the darkness of the pelvis. Along the way, forgive yourself. Along the way, forgive your body. And exchange judgment for appreciation. Exchange rushing with presence. And allow the natural intelligence of the inner body to shine through. The journey of the pelvis and awakening that deep sacred space of the inner body is far more than just about core strength. It's about a deep healing of the emotional wounds that are often stored in the sublayers of the energy body, the physical body, and the emotional body. We'll start off with an awareness exercise to bring you into deep intimacy with the inner space of your pelvis. This is also similar to the activation of what's called Mula Bandha. So bring your attention down into your sitting bones and give yourself a little wiggle. And this little wiggle just helps bring your mind right down into the pelvis. So you can feel, oh, here I am, yes. And I want you to say to yourself with a very compassionate and loving heart, as though you say to yourself, hey, my pelvic floor, how's it going today? Hey, my pelvic floor, what's up with you? And your pelvic floor may say nothing back to you, and your job is to remain forgiving and loving. Hey, my pelvic floor, how's it going with you today? And when your pelvic floor finally says, hey, I'm here, you say, great, let's go for a little ride together. Let's give a little activation. So if you find that space between your sitting bones, what exists down there is a bit personal. It's as though you find your anus, your perineum, which is the space between the genitals and the anus, and your genitals, which is all a very personal space, not really one we want to show in close detail on camera. So you want to find that space yourself and say, hey, my pelvic floor, how's it going down there? Hey, my anus, what's up with you? My perineum, my genitals, woohoo, how's it going in there? And then when you get a little answer, say, all right, ladies or guys, come on up into the pelvis. So you kind of grab that area and bring it up. And this gives you a little bit of connection. Now, another really important thing that reaches all the way down into the pelvic floor is the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a very long nerve that runs from the brainstem down the length of the spinal cord and has its final tendrils into the pelvic floor. When you activate the pelvic floor, it starts to stimulate what's called the relaxation response, which brings you into a greater sense of peace and a greater sense of presence. So keeping the pelvic floor engaged throughout your yoga practice and maybe also in your life is a little bit like a route into a relaxed state of the calm, abiding mind. Then, with a conscious awareness, bring your attention into the low belly, from the navel down to the pubic bone, and just allow this whole area to be drawn deeply in. So you're knitting together the whole empty space of the pelvic bowl with a sense of activation, knitting that all into the core of the body, which is the root which surrounds your center of gravity. Allow yourself to understand that these bandhas, these roots, are really there to bring you into intimacy, into connection, and into deep feeling. No matter what journey you've gone on with your pelvis, this area will always be hard to train. So it's not like with the snap of a fingers, you'll give one message down into your pelvis and it'll just come on. You'll actually have to constantly be thinking about, activate the pelvic floor. Hey, my pelvis, how's it going? Come on up. Hey, my low belly, stay drawn up into the pelvis.